Yo, what's up everybody? Holy with you here, bringing you My Hero Academia manga review. This is chapter 230, titled A Sad Man's Parade. This was a very awesome chapter, battle heavy. As you remember from last week, Twice made a whole bunch of copies of himself. Well, in this chapter, when it continues, he's not stopping. He's making multiple copies. There are so many copies of Twice that they are going all throughout the city, and we have this big panel where it looked like a whole bunch of black ants in the whole city, but it's actually a whole bunch of Twice, just because he's wearing all black. That's basically what you see in the overview, and people are shooting him, taking him down, but there are so many copies. He's overrunning everybody, and you have Death Soul looking, and he was like, oh wow, he overcame his trauma, and it seems his power grew stronger. And then you have his henchmen saying, I'm sorry boss that I failed, but this is the first time I ever failed anything, and I promise you I won't fail again. And his boss Death Soul was like, don't worry, this is not really more of a failure, this is more of an accomplishment. We need his power to become stronger since we want to capture him anyway. And you have the broker there tied up, and he's listening to the conversation. Then we go back to Twice, and he's just beating up. He's throwing hands at everybody and anybody that gets in his way. And he meets up with Dabi and Mr. Compress, which Mr. Compress and Dabi are my favorite people of the League of Villains. My favorite member, Mr. Compress, and Dabi is like my second favorite. So seeing them together with my third favorite, Twice, it's like I got all three of my favorite characters in My Hero right there. So I was kind of happy with this chapter. I'm a little bit more biased, I guess you could say, but he gets there and he's throwing out hands, and he's like, through the power of love and friendship, I was able to overcome this. And Mr. Compress was like, dude, you sound like a hero saying that. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I meant to be a villain. He's like, well, I know where Toka's at, and she's badly hurt. I'll tell you her location so you guys can help her save her. But as he's saying this, we have Dabi there fighting that Iceman, and the Iceman put his he's able to control cold temperature, and what he does was he takes the water temperature from the water pipes, and he freezes them, and he makes them burst. And we get another overview panel of the whole city, and we see nothing but icicles just straight up. And seeing this, you have Dabi make his flames to defend himself and his people. And the Iceman states that Dabi's going to eventually lose, because the more he uses his flame, the more his brightly the flame burns, and the more his skin is compelling. And he's like, if you keep fighting like this, you're gonna eventually burn yourself out and die. So you have no choice but to eventually quit before me. And Dabi, you can tell he's he's not hurt, but he's exhausted. You can see it in his expression, the way he's drawn out. And then the Iceman states something very pivotal to the story. He states, in the world that Deathstroke wants to make, what's going to give a person their status is not money and wealth. It's going to be their strength or their quirk. How powerful is the person? And that's the agenda that Deathstroke wants to build. He wants to control the world and push that people with strong quirks are the ones on top of society. They are the ones that are looked upon, not the rich, not the famous, those with strength. Which is really weird, because in our society, those that are really made wealthy, or those that are accomplishing something, are usually the ones that are looked upon, and those are the ones, the hierarchy of our society. But Deathstroke trying to put those people down and say only people with very powerful quirks can become the top people of society, like presidents and mayors and all that other stuff, and celebrities. That's basically the agenda that he's pushing for. So that was very nice to get that. And I have a feeling that Dabi, his quirk is going to get, just like Twice, is going to get an enhancement. I don't think it's going to evolve like Shigaraki the Toga, but I believe it's going to get like an enhancement. But the chapter did end with a cool panel of the doctor saying, I can't let y'all die, because if I let y'all die, since you're the successor of One for All and these are your people, I can never face One for All. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wake up the beast. And he pressed a button, and he actually ends up waking Machina before his 1 hour and 5 minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised if next chapter, when Dabi finishes this fight, Machina's gonna come probably in the end of the chapter and raise hell. But this was a really great chapter. Really great stuff happened. I'm happy that the Doctor seems to be liking Shigaraki and his group more, and I'm happy he did this favor for them. Even though, thanks to Twice involvement, or increasement, not involvement, because there's a difference between evolving your quirk and increasing it, and Twice evolved his, and increased his quirk, and thanks to that increasement, they were able to get an upper hand for a while, before the Iceman did what he did. But it doesn't matter now, because the Doctor get in and he awakened Machina, so once Gigantic Machina gets there, things are gonna go crazy for Shigaraki. But that's all I have for you guys. Tell me your thoughts down below. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. Please make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube is really, really iffy with the notifications. So you have to make sure when you subscribe, you also hit the notification bell. Give this video a like. Tell me down below what you thought of the chapter and what you like and didn't like about the chapter, and what you expecting Dabi to do. Do you expect Dabi to evolve his quirk or increase it? Do you think Machine is going to come before Dabi gets to increase his quirk, and he's going to be the saving grace to this arc? But that's all I have for you guys. Peace and have a good one.